Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the pod. And here's my weekly recap from last week. So this will be weekly recap number 19. So I usually post these on Fridays, but last week was a weird week for me because my sister came to town, and so it was a shorter work week. They came in on Thursday. So I basically had to finish most things by Wednesday, and it just felt weird to already do my weekly recap Wednesday of last week. So I was like, I'll just do it on Monday. So I'm starting to, sometimes I just have to flex these episodes depending on when it makes the most sense. So Friday or Monday, these will come up, but this week I should be back to my Friday schedule. But anyways, weekly recap of last week. So last week was a really solid week, even though it was a shorter work week for me. I had to cram things into the first half of the week. I ended up being able to get it all done, and that felt good, and grateful for the flexibility to be able to do something like that. And my body feels good in training. Last week, I got in a run. The week before last week, if you listen to these, my knee was kind of bothering me 2 weeks ago after the 4th of July trip. So last week it was starting to feel better. So I did do a run and it went okay. I didn't have any soreness after. So that is good to see, good to feel. And then today I hit a PR on 10 rep max back squat at the gym I go to. We've been on a cycle of back squats, and we did a 10 rep max 2 months ago. So we retested again. I got 155 for 10 reps, which I was super pumped about. I did 135 last time. And so definitely have gotten stronger there, and that feels good. And yeah, just feels good to push myself a bit again. And I'm looking forward to seeing when I get on dumbbell bench press, because that'll be on Wednesday. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to PR on that, because last time we tested that, I did 50 pounds for 5 reps on the dumbbells for bench press. And I'm I don't know if I can do more. I'll be stoked if I could do 55s, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so training feels good. And then mentally, I just still feel a little bit of in a weird space, business wise. I feel I'm just mentally in a hard season of business right now. And I'm trying really hard to not let that dictate my mood about my life or my day and my, actually real life. You know what I mean? When you have a business, when you have a personal brand business, it's really hard to not let things going on in business impact how you act in your real life, if that makes sense. So I'm really trying to separate them the best that I can, and try and be solution focused instead of just being down on myself or whatever. I'm not going to go into super detail about why or anything like that, but just figured I would share that I'm just really trying to not let if something doesn't work, not let it mean anything about me or about what I'm doing, and just trying to, like I said, be solution focused. But anyways, that's really all I want to say about that. On that similar note though, I'm really trying to work on how can I be more present in my life and less worried. I am starting to value that so much more than I used to, and this is proving to be extremely, extremely difficult for me. And when I think about it, I've been in this pattern for my whole life, so it's gonna take some time, but trying to be present in the present moment and not worried about things in the future or things that I literally cannot control. It's like, okay, what can I control? How can I be more present in this moment and like be where my feet are? I'm trying really hard to make that more of a default mode instead of having to so much actively think about it, but that's something that I'm kind of working through. And then one more thing I want to mention in this recap is I am being more intentional about my time blocking this week. I always time block. I have for over a year now. It works for me really well to not let the day get away from me, to make sure I have time for the things I need to get done. And I just noticed last week I've been like more lazy about my time blocks, and things are letting some things take longer than they should, and I just shouldn't be letting that happen. So I'm tightening up my time blocks this week, making time for some other things that need to happen, and just like trying to be a little bit more structured and strict on myself there, especially if like the task doesn't need to extend on. Why am I making it last longer than it should? So anyways, I am looking forward to seeing how this week goes, what it brings. We still have almost 2 weeks left in July, so let's see what the rest of the month brings. That's all for this recap. If you listen to these, I appreciate you. If you listen to these and you don't follow me on Instagram, go find me, Coach Ashley 127. Give me a follow, send me a DM. Let me know if you like these episodes. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.